Esmulus Tower. It's just as we heard. One of the 4 device towers activated on the release of the seal beneath Gransel Castle. The second barrier, defending the Oriole from all angles. The professor's research was spot on, it seems.
Yeah, sorry to keep you waiting. Haha, hope we didn't tire you too much with the delay.
Oh, Walter, Campanella, this is a surprise. I was sure it would be Lo who met me here. What turning of the wind is this, I wonder?
Lo is accompanying the professor for the moment, so as much as it may not be my place as a mere observer, I came in his stead. And I ain't got much to do at this point. Right now I'm just killing some time.
How unusual for both of you. Though interesting, Lo is accompanying the professor. They are performing the last experiment, then.
Apparently. Our big fancy plan is heading into the big leagues, looks like. The archaisms and Jaegers are almost ready. Once we have the beta in hand, we'll all be quite busy, I suspect.
The last experiment. They mean to go up against the legend, I take it. Even the professor and Lo are going to struggle with that, I would imagine.
Maybe. We're talking about hijacking a creature of legend after all. Ain't quite like throwing pictures around or shaking the earth. But hey, Campanella, this ain't like you.
Ooh, what's this now?
You're usually happily tagging along with the professor. If he ain't doing that, especially with things like this interesting, that means something even better's coming up. So spit it out already.
Why, Walter, I'm hurt. Have you so little faith in me?
I'd trust you as much as your number.
What overflowing camaraderie, Walter.
Such slings, such arrows. You two are so cruel. Well, in truth, I would love to sit back and watch the fireworks unfold, but as it turns out, I have a bit of work to do. I'm off to gain his permission to use the Ark. Shit, seriously? We're finally busting that monstrosity out. This mission gets better every day.
The Crimson Ark. The Glorious. I find it hard to believe we would use such... Do we intend to turn this nation into nothing more than a smoking crater? That will be up to the professor and Lo. So I am afraid I must depart as soon as we're done. I so look forward to hearing about our experiment when I get back.
This is... Yes, I thought it would be here. Behold, Lo, a majestic thing, is it not? Are you really going to perform an experiment on something like this? I understand your apprehension. Without this data, however, we have no hope of completing the beta. We must know. Oh, I see we woke you. Your first time in the waking world of mortals in 20 years, yes? This is the first time we've met. Allow me to introduce myself. You may call me George Weissman. I am one of the Anguis, caretaker of Ouroboros.
Begone. This power which hangs about thee like a mist, familiar it be somehow, but thy eyes betray thy purpose. In those windows I see a soul, twisted and bent, incapable of joy, unyoked from bringing suffering and agony to thy fellow man.
Well, well, such compliments. But I'm afraid I must deny your request. I won't be going anywhere. After all, we've business regarding the treasure of Eidos.
What?
Show him, Lo. Oh, does this stir up memories from 1200 years ago? It's merely a replica, but I dare say it's well made enough, wouldn't you?
Surely thou dost not. Thou cannot mean the shining ring.
Ah, but I do. Now then, our final test awaits.
I see. So now we have a gospel influencing people's minds, using the fog's particular matter as a medium to exert mental control over a large area. Well, that settles one question at least. Excuse me, Professor. Cassius, you old dog. Good timing. Escaped Lyston, did you? Yes, I finally managed to finish off a bit of work. I thought I would stop by and see how you're holding up. What's this? A report from your granddaughter? Yes, just arrived express from Rolent. Thanks to Tita's report, I'm quite certain of my theory now. About the gospel, I'm assuming? Yes. Though it's ultimately still a hypothesis at this point. I've gone over it again and again, both on paper and with the capital, though, so I'm reasonably sure of this. Shall I go over it? Absolutely. Right then. So, what we've been calling the Gospel's orbital shutdown phenomenon. Tell me, what do you think it is, based on what you've seen and heard? It's an effect that occurs to any orbital device located near an active gospel, chaining from one device to another. And it renders these devices inert while the gospel is active. That's how it seems to me, at least. Half right, half wrong. What you're describing is closer to the orbital art anticept. That shorts out the internal quartz circuits of an orbit to temporarily suspend its functionality. The phenomenon generated by a gospel, however, is fundamentally different. It steals all the orbital energy formed in an orbit down to the very last joule. So it's more of an orbital absorption phenomenon. Yes, to make a comparison to a combustion engine, it's like siphoning out the petrol. But wait, unless I badly misunderstand physics, that means the gospel should absorb and store all that power, correct? Good eye, lad. You've noticed a very important fact. So I've measured a gospel after it absorbs energy, but the gospel does not actually hold any of it. Not even a single EP's worth. Is it possible the energy is being vented into a wider environment? No, not at all. The energy disappears, completely, utterly, and, quite impossibly, thanks to thermodynamics. Furthermore, these new gospels Estelle's group have been encountering, every time they're encountered, they cause unbelievable phenomena that even our best orbital engineering can't explain. It's unclear how they're causing such effects, but I can say one thing with confidence, and that is, they're too small. I can say with absolute certainty that any device enabling such massive effects could not fit into the palm of one's hand. Even if the society somehow possesses technology centuries ahead of our own, nothing that small could contain that much potential energy. I think I'm starting to see where this is going. You're saying the Gospels must be terminals, access points of some sort. Exactly. The only function the Gospel unit itself has is an ability to manifest an abnormal warp in a local orbital field. That warp then resonates with any local orbital devices, expands and draws energy from the devices. The energy then disappears through the warp. Well, no, it does not disappear. It is sent elsewhere. And whatever is located elsewhere is capable of causing the impossible effects we've seen. You know, I hope I'm misunderstanding this. I'm afraid you're getting a passing grade here, old friend. The Society can use the Gospels to draw out and spread the power of whatever this thing is. Spreading the influence of a mysterious force. No wonder the Society named them Gospels. In that case, the nature of this thing bothers me. As you said, even if it's an orbit out of our purest fiction, or as far as that goes, I'm afraid I have no real clue. I've thought of a number of possibilities, but that would be pure speculation at this point. Now, Cassius, I will ask you the same question I asked you 10 years ago. We're in quite the pickle. What do you need me to do? The exact same words as when I asked you to develop the patrol airship. Well then, the key, I think, must lie in this warp the Gospel creates. Russell, can you develop some kind of plan or method of stopping the resonance, the spread? I thought you'd ask. I'm just about done with my current invention anyway. I'll get to work as soon as I'm done with that.
Ah, Estelle, at last we return to Bose, the land laden with memories of our first meeting. It makes my heart swell to return to a place of such sweet nostalgia.
Shocking as it may be, I kinda have to agree on the heart-swelling memories bit. Although, as I remember it, you were kind of rude back then. You said I wasn't attractive and made fun of me like a schoolboy.
You misunderstand me, my fair Rose. I would only display such cute, bashful behavior in order to hide feelings of love unabated.
Yeah, I'll bet that's it exactly. You sure didn't waste any time putting the moves on Schera, as I remember. Or Joshua.
Well, putting that aside, as you stand now, your beauty is incomparable to what it was then. Yours is a supple, healthy beauty, with a maiden's gentle virtue. Indeed, you have grown, Estelle.
Oh, thank you. Though when you put it that way, it's kind of embarrassing. Please don't say it like that again.
There is no shame to be had in virtue, Estelle. Still, you have but only begun to climb the ladder of adulthood. Should you wish to ascend even higher, I would be more than happy to assist you.
No, thank you. If I was ever in a position to ask anyone about that sort of thing, I'd be a million times better off than asking Schera.
A pity, the things I could teach. Though Schera would be the one to... Ah.
I'll remind you that I have a very large stick.
Oh, hi, Estelle. Still walking around?
Sorta, yeah. Oh, Cheetah, this is your first time in Bose, isn't it?
Uh-huh. I've heard there's a really big store in Bose. I kinda want to see it.
The Bose Market, yeah. Think of it like the department store in Gransel, but even bigger. It's actually a bunch of different stores all in one space. It's really busy.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I hope we arrive in Bose soon. Estelle, have you been to Ravenel Village?
Yep, I stopped there once on a job. That's Gati's hometown, right?
Uh-huh. He has a little sister named Misha living there. Agate goes back pretty often, I think. At least once a year to say hello to her.
Oh, right. Agate's little sister, huh? Must be hard for the poor girl having such an antisocial lump for a brother.
Estelle, that's not nice. Agate can be, blunt, but he's also really nice.
Yeah. He's just kind of clumsy and easily embarrassed, to be honest.
You know, I bet Misha's a really good person. Whenever Agate talks about her, his eyes turn so gentle.
Tita, what's wrong?
No, it's nothing. My heart just felt, kind of weird for a bit. I wonder why.
Somebody's a bit jealous of Misha, I bet. Oh yeah, Olivier, you were put to sleep there too. Did you dream like I did? I suppose I did. Yes, Is something wrong, Olivier? Well, I was simply thinking that it was a shame. For you see, in my dreams, I was in the company of peerless, beautiful maidens, betwixt shapes, verily blessed by Idios. If you had not awoken me, Estelle, I could have done this and that. Perhaps fate has willingly stirred me at your arrival. Well, would you care to discover that which can only be conceived in dreams? Remember what I said about my stick? I can also put you to sleep with it. Forever. No. I'm sorry. For the love of... Still, Olivier's eyes were so... sad for a moment. What did he dream of? You needn't make such a face, my sweet. Huh? In truth, it was nothing special. Simply a memory of my boyhood. Dear Mueller showed up in it, for example. I see. Then why the heck couldn't you just mention that from the start, you perv? Now, anger unbecomes you, Lady Estelle. Hello, Estelle. Hi, Schera. So this is where you went. Oh wait, do you want to be alone for a bit? Oh? This is unlike you, Estelle. Why so reserved? You want to ask about Luciola, right? Yeah? She says we met a long time ago, but I don't really remember her at all. I was wondering what she's like, and if you could jog my memory. Let's see, where to begin then? We have to begin with her stage name, I suppose. Luciola, the Bewitching Belle. She could show her audience illusions by dancing while using bells and fans, thus bewitching them, you see. Hers was the centerpiece performance of our little circus troupe, the one that really brought the audience in. Illusions? Does she use an ornament to make them? No, she uses something she always called illusion magic, which is apparently some kind of very old, non-orbal art. Luciola was from a family with a tradition of working that art. Was? People who fall in with a traveling circus like ours tend to be one of two kinds. People who had cause to abandon their previous home and families, or people who never had such things to begin with. Luciola was one of the former, and I was the latter. I was about 7 years old when Mr. Harvey and his band took me in. Back then, I was little more than a street urchin living in the slums of a city. Pickpocketing, petty theft, there was little I wouldn't do to try to survive. The ones who reached out a hand to me were the troop's leader, Mr. Harvey, and Luciola. They taught me, the little girl who couldn't trust anyone, the warmth of a family. And they taught me all sorts of skills that would let me earn a place for myself in the troupe. Dancing, beast handling, tarot reading. Luciola taught me all of it. But then, 8 years ago, Mr. Harvey died in an accident. Without his leadership, we all just drifted apart and went our own ways. I'd been planning on staying with Luciola, but soon after Mr. Harvey died, she simply told me, "There's something I must do," and vanished. Hopeless and lost for the first time in years, I turned to the one remaining man in the world whom I still trusted. As you might suspect, that was Cassius, who'd already begun working as a bracer. You know the rest, I imagine. So that's what happened. I had no idea you'd gone through something like that. The reason I aimed to become a bracer at first was to improve myself. I wanted to be able to live and prosper on my own, show Luciola just how far I'd come once she returned. But, well, it has been 8 years. Perhaps that was enough time to re-examine my reasons. Schera. Oh, don't make that face. Like Sin said, I don't intend to simply fight her without saying a word. I want to hear Luciola's story from her before doing anything. I have to know what possible reason could have made her associate with the society. Yeah, that sounds good. I've got your back, Schera. I'll do anything I can to help. I know I can always count on you. Still, you've grown quite a bit, haven't you, Estelle? What? That's kinda sudden. I always thought of you as being exactly what I'd expect of Cassius's daughter. I don't think that's quite right, or fair anymore, though. What do you mean? Your strength isn't quite the same as Cassius's. Cassius has a heart as deep as the ocean and strength like a relentless wave. But you, Estelle? Your strength is like the sun. You shine and make others shine just by being near them. My Estelle, you shine like the sun. I think that's why people are attracted to you so easily. It's what I like the most about you, and I know Joshua felt the same way. I don't think you need to feel any pressure to live up to Cassius, is my point. Yeah. You really are my big sister, Schera. You always know how to encourage me. Thanks. You're very welcome. Not saying you should return the favor, mind, but you really should drink with me sometime. Now that you're a full bracer, you'd better learn to handle your liquor. How is booze related to... You know what? Never mind. I don't want to know. Hey, is something wrong, Agate?
It's nothing. You still wandering around the ship?
Yeah, basically. Oh, you're from Ravenou in the Bose region, right? This'll be your first time back home in a while, then.
It's been a while, yeah. I did stop by the old place after the Queen's birthday celebration a while back, though. Hey, wait a sec. Why are you assuming I'm going back home?
Aw, don't be embarrassed, you big teddy bear. You've got a little sister back in Ravenou, right? You mentioned her once. You must be the biggest softie when it comes to her, huh?
Hey.
Oh, yeah, where the heck in Ravenou is your house, anyway? I don't remember meeting any girl who stood out as Agate's little sister when we were there investigating the Sky Bandits. There was a girl with Louie, but no, too young. And I figure your little sister's gotta have your hair.
I'll introduce you to Misha soon. Assuming we have some reason to visit anyway.
Yeah, please do. And in that case, we'll have to bring Tita along too.
Why would we have to do that?
Tita's kind of attached to you, in case you hadn't noticed. She'd be pretty let down if you didn't introduce her to your sister, you know? Oh, I get it. You don't want Misha and Tita to meet. Now I get it. They might get together and get in lots of trouble like Tita did with Ren, or they might get jealous of each other. Huh, being an older brother must be hard work.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Huh? Well, don't worry. I'll clean up any mess that happens. I've gotten pretty good at Tita hurting. So you just go ahead and introduce these two, crazy kids and I'll make sure nothing blows up.
Yeah, thanks. I'll be counting on you for that.
Oh, Estelle, good work this time. You're really growing as a bracer.
I'm still kind of a newbie, I think. Like, I'm not even remotely as good with the staff as Dad.
Well, I don't think you should worry about Master Cassius much. An S-rank bracer is a master of their profession to a degree that they attain the unity of purpose all martial artists seek, after all. To be honest, I don't think I could attain such enlightenment even if I spent my whole life trying.
I see. I gotta admit, it's kind of hard for me to understand how incredible my dad is, but... Actually, Zin, you mentioned the whole unity of purpose idea to Chloe back at the castle. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, I did. It's kind of tough to explain, to be honest. Well, here goes. Master Cassius was once such a transcendent master of the sword, he was given the title of Divine Blade. Today, though, he can wield a staff just as easily as the sword he spent his life training with. What do you think that is?
He practiced really hard?
That's part of it, sure. But more than that, it's because he could instantly understand and relate the nature of staff combat to his previous experience. Something beyond what we call skill, above practicing forms and reflexes, above muscle memory. Think of it as a mental state where one can grasp the true nature of all things and control them at will. The whole concept is what we refer to as unity of purpose.
The true nature of all things?
His plan to push back the Imperial Army during your war was the same, I'd bet. He understood the nature of war, of combat, so intrinsically, so instinctively, that he was able to construct the plan he did. There would be no one more fearsome as a foe.
I get it, I think. But that means that even my supposedly enlightened dad was beaten in some ways by the society. During the coup, he was lured out of the country, for starters.
Yeah, they almost certainly possess some equal to Master Cassius. It's hard to know if it's whoever Lo or this professor is, though.
Could it be the guy we know as Lawrence? He was pretty powerful.
I don't know. He is incredibly skilled, sure, but I doubt he could match up to Master Cassius. Besides, his chi, his soul, they did not have unity of purpose. Not in the way I've spoken of. He is a blade, sharpened in one specific way by the coldest frost, tempered to perfection, untouched by anyone. That's the sense I got from him in the arena, at least.
Yeah, I get what you mean. He hasn't shown himself, but I figure he's gotta be up to something. He did seem to have kind of some fixation on Joshua.
It wouldn't surprise me if they know each other from Joshua's days in the society. Between him, me, and Scherazard, we've all got some strange ties in our past to this group. I wonder if this is the guidance of she who dwells above.
Estelle, out for a walk again? More or less. More importantly, I'm sorry. I didn't really open up about Joshua until the very end. Oh, don't worry. Still, that girl with Joshua is one of the Sky Bandits, isn't she? Yeah, she's a cheeky, insulting little punk by the name of Josette Capua. She's also the single biggest tomboy I've ever laid eyes on, and people call me a tomboy sometimes. I see. She does seem a bit charming from the photograph. She can be pretty cute if she keeps her mouth shut. And she did manage to play a perfect upper crust girl when we first met her, too. I'm sorry? I see. That is impressively dexterous, if I may say so. Well, it does make sense, since she's apparently former Erebonian nobility. Putting on a face like that is their specialty, I think. Peel away the layers, though, and like I said, at the core, she's a cheeky, classless little punk. Still, from what I've heard, I can't really find cause to hate her. I suspect that if we found a chance to talk, we might have quite a lot in common. Yeah, I can't see that happening. We'd slide off each other like oil and water. Our personalities wouldn't fit together. Trust me. Maybe. Oh! Chloe, you were put to sleep with us back there. Did you have some kind of dream? I did. It was during the 100 Days War. During the war? Oh, I see. That's when you were with Matron Teresa. Yes, I was in the care of Matron Teresa during the fighting. We lived together for some time. And... what's wrong? It's just that, even though it was set 10 years ago, Clem and Jill both showed up. If I had stayed in the dream long enough, perhaps even you and Joshua might have appeared. Well, that's a dream for you. Coherence not guaranteed. Very. Still, in hindsight, it was a little frightening. Huh? In the dream, I was happy. Very, very happy. I wanted everything to stay that way from the bottom of my heart. But that isn't right, is it? Simply wishing to escape reality in that way? Yeah, I know what you mean. It's always nice to have a happy dream, sure. But, yeah, if you asked if I wanted to see that dream again, I'd be a little hesitant. Yes, the dangers of the gospel. I feel like we've gotten a real hint of them.
Hey everyone, hello! Good work out there in Rolent. The Silver Streak, the Heavy Blade, the Immovable, and our Rising Star Rookie all together. Brings a tear to my eye, it does.
Rising Star Rookie?
Ah, you of course. You are a little walking miracle who's managed to stop the society in 4 different regions. That's been the gossip anyway.
You've got to be kidding. Saying I stopped anything is overstating it more than a little. They just ran off once their experiments were done.
You did handle yourself well in the Rolent case, Estelle. Don't sell yourself too short. I think you can be a little bit proud.
Yeah, but that was just, a bunch of coincidence coming together and...
No need to get so embarrassed. You just need to live up to your reputation is all.
Yeah, thanks, Zen. You make that sound like a cakewalk. Anyway, all that aside, what's the situation like here in Bose?
There's been no sign of the society whatsoever. No surprise, I suppose, since the Sky Bandits were caught. The army's been patrolling the region pretty heavily. One thing sticks out though. There have been a few too many dangerous monsters prowling around here these days.
Really?
You know, I noticed that the last time I was here. Bose seems to usually have more wanted monsters than any other region. Why is that?
Most of it comes down to Bose being huge and filled with rough terrain. Makes it common to see monsters come down from the less inhabited areas. Thing is though, we've had 10 cases just since the beginning of the month.
10? That is a lot.
I'm guessing that's kept Sting and the rest of the crew busy? Yes, and Kurt's team stopped by the other day to slay several of them. Be in your debt if you could take care of a few of them for us as well.
That strikes me as a good course of action. It's possible the society is involved with this.
Yeah, and they could hurt someone if we just leave them alone, so we should get out there and take them down.
Huh? Agate, what's wrong?
Yeah, what's up? You're really quiet.
It's nothing. Anyway, let's get out there and bring back some monster heads.
Mayor Maybell and Leela. Estelle, it's so good to see you again. I am glad to see you as well. Wow, it's seriously been forever. I think we last met at the Queen's birthday celebrations, right? Yes, it feels as though it's been ages. I've been hearing all about your exploits on the news though, Estelle. That goes for everyone else as well. I'm glad to see you all safe. Especially you, Chloe. Are you on school break already? Yes, I ended up taking a little time off early. It's good to see you again, Maybell. You two seem pretty familiar. Maybell used to be a student at the academy. We met before she graduated. And I'm certainly glad we met too. I see. And Agate Krosner. It has been some time, sir.
Suppose so.
Hang on, Agate. Mayor Maybell, you know each other? Oh my, yes. I've relied on Mr. Krosner a number of times for various jobs only he could do. And 10 years ago?
Hey, Mayor?
I forgot myself, pardon me. Regardless, I simply wish to stop by today to welcome you back. From the sound of things, you're pursuing an international criminal syndicate which threatens the safety of the entire country? An international criminal syndicate? Sometimes they feel more like a society of supervillains, but that's one way to think of them, yes. So far as the city of Bose is concerned, the threat these criminals pose is not someone else's problem, it's everyone's. If I can do anything to assist you in your investigation, anything at all, you only need to ask. Thanks. If we need help, we'll definitely ask.
We'll be expecting a lot from you, Mayor.
Excellent. Now I'm afraid I must excuse myself here. Should anything come up, please come visit me at my residence. Pardon us.
Come on, Agate. Couldn't you have been a little more civil?
It's who I am. We ain't running a butler service here. Give me a break.
Agate can be kind of arrogant to people sometimes. He's usually polite towards clients, though. You were kind of short with the mayor, Agate.
You're imagining things. More to the point, I remember talking about us bringing back some monster heads. Legrand, give us the breakdown.
Right. We have 3 cases outstanding. First, there's a blade fang stalking around in the Crone Pass. We've also got a ghost epitaph in the Nebel Valley. And finally, an octobone raising hell at the Emerald Tower.
Okay, got those written down.
Alright, monster slaying's the perfect task for my greatsword. I'll be taking charge this time around.
Huh? Well, you are Bose native, my good heavy blade. You're probably the best suited out of all of us.
I have no objections.
Decided then. Go ahead and pick us a team.
You're being suspiciously gung-ho about this, you know. Okay, so, if we're going all over the region to fight those unwanted monsters, since we're out, why don't we stop at Ravenous Village?
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like you're expecting something?
I do want to see your hometown, Agate. Do you not want to?
Not right now, no. We need to settle our current jobs first, including hunting these monsters.
Oh.
You unfeeling clod. Come on, Tita's here. Would it literally make your head catch fire to be nice for once?
The hell do you even...
Estelle, it's okay, really. It's only normal that we should put work first. Agate, I'm sorry for prodding you.
Nah. And, you know, I'll definitely take you once things have settled down a bit. Just be a good girl for now, short stuff.
Okay.